Hey guys, welcome back. As I told you on a previous video, we're really aggressively moving towards selling the house, and we're looking for a much larger property, homestead type property, and we are on the way. This is actually my fourth trip to go look at a property slightly north, about 20 miles north of where we live in central New Hampshire. It's on the top of a mountain on 62 acres. There is what appears to be kind of like a mountain lodge at the top, which is like a log cabin, fairly recently built in 2007. There are several outbuildings. I'm not sure how many. I've counted, I think 5, but there may be more. I don't know. There's a basketball court, which may or may not be cool, depending on if you like basketball. It might be kind of cool for me to put like a barn up over it or something. Not much of a sports guy, but we're driving up. One of the initial and cool features of this house is it's buried in the woods. It is 1.1 miles up a dirt class 6 unmaintained town road, and if you look left and right on the sides of this road, you're not going to see any power lines because there is no power going up this road whatsoever. It is the only house on the road, and again, it's 1.1 miles up the road, and the power comes up the back side of the mountain. For a daily living homestead, I guess it's nice to have the power there, and as you guys know, I have a lot of tools and things that require power, but this is the perfect like dual purpose grid up grid down type of home, and I envision it being able to operate with literally the flip of a switch, either on or off grid. And so far everything I've seen, it seems to check off all the boxes that I'm looking for. I'm driving up with my friends Billy and his son Jacob. Say hi, Billy.
Hey.
Jacob.
Hi.
And they have worked on a lot of projects with me and have been very, very involved in the off-grid cabin project up north. In fact, the 3 of us in this car basically built that cabin. Rob got involved toward the, I don't know, I'd say the middle or the end of it, and some of the touch-up finish stuff. But we are heading up to take a look at this. So as soon as we get to the top of the mountain, I'll take you back. The property abuts state conservation land, and not that I really want to have the state or any government as my neighbor, but for the time being, no one's really using it, and so that's attractive. We're getting a little closer to the house. The ride is seemingly interminable. I mean, it just you keep driving and driving and driving, and we're in Billy's car right now, and or it's like a SUV, and it's done very, very well. This is a bank-owned property, which makes negotiating difficult, but if you're willing to push through it, it can be really advantageous. Okay, so here we're at the end of the road, and it dead ends right here. I guess the driveway itself. The driveway itself starts here, and that's the house right there. It's listed as a, I don't know, 23 or 2,500, somewhere around there, square foot house. And it's well built. I've been inside it. It's well constructed. The interior layout is atrocious. So
This thing is unbelievable.
if you think, yeah, it is. It's really unbelievable. If you think we're at any shortage for projects, think again. Okay, there's one of the cabins down there. I don't know if you can see it. There's another 2 outbuildings right there. There's another one there, another one there, and there's another one off in the woods up there.
And then the basketball court.
And yeah, the basketball court, you can't really see it from here. But let's park and walk around. All right, I'm standing on the front porch. There's a wraparound porch on 3, actually no, it's, yeah, 3 sides. 3 sides. And this is the view. This is unbelievable. This is a northeast facing view, but being at the top of this mountain, I mean, there is exposure everywhere. One of the outbuildings, it's atrocious condition. It's terrible. It's totally abandoned. But the surrounding area, the surrounding property in this field, yard, pasture, whatever you want to call it, it's very nice. It's buildings everywhere. Approaching another outbuilding. We've been to 5 outbuildings already. They're not in good shape at all. This one, on the other hand, is log built. Structurally looks very good. And the property that we've seen thus far is just incredible. The small area that comprises maybe, I would say, no more than 3 acres so far that we've seen is terraced nicely. There are roads that kind of wind in and out of the woods. And we're just checking out a couple more outbuildings here. But gosh, this property, like I've told Billy and Jacob, is very difficult to match up with a buyer. It's been on the market for years, evidently, 5 years. And on the other hand, it seems to be a perfect fit for me. Perfect. Go inside this little log outbuilding here. Check this out. What do you think?
This is the
This
best.
is
the bare building.
This is very nice. This really weird outbuilding. It's kind of like a open air gazebo. And this place is, like I said, it's been on the market for like 5 years, and the clock is running. The time isn't right, but the clock's still running. How weird is that? What did you find, Jacob?
Yeah, we also found a lot of stuff that proved that Paul wrote Hebrews.
Wow, very interesting.
So,
good,
yeah.
good. All right, we've encountered yet 2 more log-built cabins. One there and one there. Then there's kind of a weird shack up there, but I guess it constitutes an outbuilding. I mean, there are buildings. How many buildings? 10 so far, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
There's 10 buildings.
And I mean,
Several of them are not salvageable,
like
but
4 so far.
but they certainly do establish a history of construction on the property. Not that I would really intend on getting the town involved in much. All right, well, unfortunately, right in the middle of the walking tour of the property that we're interested in, my phone ran out of battery, and I was taking video with my phone. We were walking through like thigh-deep snow, and it was kind of crusty on the top. You know the kind of snow I'm talking about. You step on it, and you wonder if it's going to carry your weight, and then all of a sudden, halfway through your next step, you fall in, and you're sunk in the snow deep into your thighs. And I am so tired. I'm exhausted. We walked quite a long ways, and like I said in the prior video, I'm just not in the shape that I need to be in. But we'll work on that. So sorry I didn't have more to show you, but overall I'm just really very, very impressed with the property. There is no perfect property, and if it were perfect, it wouldn't be on the market or the price tag would be way too high. A couple of downsides. I don't want to get all caught up in the upsides, because the reality is I'm going to be living with the downsides. And we're going to need to deal with them on a daily basis or change them. For one, the first downside is that several of the outbuildings, there are a total of 11 outbuildings that we counted, and a total of 5 of them need to be taken down. In my opinion, taken down. Now that doesn't mean they're a complete loss, because the metal roofs on all of them are in virtually perfect shape. There's a lot of double-walled insulated chimney pipe. When I say a lot, I mean probably, I'm going to guess, over 100 feet in total, close to 100 feet. That's some big bucks right there. It's not big enough bucks to influence whether you buy the property or not, but these are things that can be salvaged and saved. They're all the structures are built of rough sawn lumber, and much of that can easily be salvaged. The rest of it can be burned. So one of the downsides is that there's a disassembly and a demolition and to some extent a disposal project afoot if I do decide to move on this. That's one downside. My little guy decided he wanted to come in and hang out and do the video with me right in the middle of my sentence. So here we are. So we're talking about downsides. The second downside is on the plot plan there is a small and very old cemetery that is on the property. And the problem with that is that by state law, the towns must maintain the cemeteries. And that means there's virtually a town official coming in, not virtually, there's actually a town official coming in to cut the grass and to do whatever they do. we don't even know who was buried there, what the deal is. I don't really like that. I'm not doing anything wrong. In fact, everything I'm doing is, totally right and by the books. But I just don't like towns coming in and anyone's prying eyes. That's why I want to move out into the woods on the top of the mountain. It's because I want to get away from people's curiosities, and a lot of people would find some of the stuff that I'm doing kind of interesting. Sawmills and building this and building that, and just doing some of the projects that we do. And I don't want to attract that kind of traffic at all. So of course everything has a price when it comes to trade-offs with property, and I guess if there's a significant enough discount, it may be worth it. I really need to give some serious consideration to that. Come on, buddy. The third concern that I have is that being bank-owned, the bank is refusing to allow any sort of inspection. Now, I wouldn't have a home inspector or anything come in. I'd look at it all myself. But in order to really truly test all systems, you need to put power to them, you need to put water in them, and you need to fire them up. And generally speaking, I can inspect a heating system and go through a heating system with no water in it. But there's nothing that says that it really works except for turning it on and feeling the heat come on. I can inspect for burst pipes and things of that nature. It's all PEX, which is very good, which really diminishes the likelihood that there's any sort of parting of plumbing or fittings or anything like that. Or, you know what I'm talking about. But in walking the property, I discovered 4 wells, and those wells are supplying water to 20-something campsites. Actually, I think it's closer to 30-something campsites. And there's some discrepancy between documents describing how many, quote, campsites are on this property. Because, like I told you before, it was like a Christian camp. But in walking the property from site to site to site, there's electricity in every one of the outbuildings, which is really cool. It's really positive to have that as a feature, an amenity, even though we hope not to really rely on it very much. And there's also freshwater plumbing running to every one of the campsites. Now, as far as I know, it hasn't been operating as a campsite for 6 years, 2009 I believe it was. And so I have absolutely no idea whether the fresh water system that came from the wells delivered through the irrigation pipe underground to each campsite, whether that system was winterized properly. Now, just in contemplating how many feet, probably literally thousands of feet of pipe and thousands of feet of wire buried. It's all underground. I mean, it's unbelievable. What's up, buddy? He sees himself on the camera. There's a lot in the way of systems. And so, getting back to my point, this bank has explicitly said, as is, as seen, no inspection allowed, no filling up the heating and water systems with water to test. You show up and you make yourself an offer, and either we'll take it or we won't, but we're not going any further than that. And because I'm not going to buy this as any sort of investment and not going to have another place to live, I really do need to rely on at least the bare bone essentials of functionality. Don't get me wrong. I can function without running water. I can function without electricity. And even if I did need electricity, I have 6 generators that we could, rig up to provide all the power we need. But I don't want to have to deal with that. I got enough projects going on. You know that. You've seen some of the stuff we're working on. And, unfortunately, I haven't even made videos on all the projects we're working on. We'll be coming out with a lot more videos. But for fear that I may be starting to ramble, I'll kind of wrap things up. the bottom line is this property is seemingly perfect. It's really, really amazing. It's close enough to the interstate, but yet far enough removed. It is far enough away, but close enough to, shopping, groceries, and what have you. And a particular interest to me is that it's like almost 30 minutes closer to my off-grid property up north, which is currently about 2.5 hours away. So having that 30-minute jump start on the trip up there makes the off-grid cabin property much more usable, and it's something. So it makes it more realistic that we can just say, "Hey, let's go up for the day," because it shaves off a total round trip of an hour of driving time. So I don't know. Just be thinking about what your thoughts are on this. I'm wide open to advice, wide open to any tips or pointers that you guys may have. Anything that I may not have considered. I mean, I've really given this a lot of thought, but I need more eyeballs to check me on this. So if you have any thoughts, leave your remarks in the comments, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch us and follow us along on this little walk through the property, and to sit down with me here with my little guy to discuss this. If you haven't already subscribed, we'd appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you join us. And if you like this video, hit the like button. We're really into the whole outdoors thing, homesteading thing, and this is kind of the tack we're taking. We're working on getting ourselves into a rhythm and a groove of the types of videos, but it's hard in the beginning. We have so much going on, and I feel like it makes sense to document all of it, not just for you guys, but for me and for my kids to be able to look back and say, wow, my dad really was a wild man. He was a nut. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. I'm not afraid of a little constructive criticism. And again, I've already told you once, but hit the subscribe button. And say goodbye, buddy. Say bye-bye. All right, till the next video. Take care.